We have a lot to unpack. So welcome back. Today, I'm going to teach you the most powerful skill you can have in business, monetization. Who here remembers our 3-step formula to make money with digital products? Let's see. Let's drop it in the chat and see if you guys remember what are the 3 steps that we covered in the first 2 episodes. Amazing. There we go. You guys are clearly paying attention, and that makes sense. You guys are my fucking superstars. You guys, final day. As I said, we've got some crazy bonuses. I'm very, very excited to share that with you. Anyways, you guys are clearly paying attention. Our 3-step formula to make money with non-expert digital products is development, monetization, and delivery. Yesterday, it was all about our first step, develop, and we learned a bunch of insane stuff. We learned how specialized AI outperforms $20 a month generic AI by 10x, just like a brain surgeon versus a generalist doctor. The exact third layer hack that positions you in blue oceans with zero competition instead of red oceans with thousands of competitors. How we're using easy-to-use specialized AI to identify and synthesize wildly profitable digital products, even on topics we know nothing about. How you can sort through 150 scientific sources to synthesize together a digital product you don't even have to put your face on. Why 90% of businesses fail because they run out of attempts, and how you get unlimited attempts while everyone else goes broke after try number 2. Now, if you missed any of that, don't worry, you can go back and watch that session later, because today we're going to learn the second and arguably, in my opinion, the most important step of this equation, monetization. And at the core of what you're going to learn today, there's 3 things.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a business? Download the Alibaba.com app. Get inspired by data-driven daily rankings.
A product page, a page script, and a checkout. And we're going to unpack all this in detail shortly. And if you attended our session yesterday, you also saw the special offer that we made. And in my almost decade long in this industry, I have never, in almost 10 years doing this, I've never in my life seen such demand and anticipation for an offer like we had yesterday when we opened enrollments for Monetize. People clamored over our fast action bonus with me, and we sold out super quickly. Makes sense. We had 64,000 people. I checked actually by the end, it was 66,000 people on our waitlist. And maybe you missed it yourself. Now, does that mean because you didn't get the bonus from yesterday that you missed out and you should stop paying attention? No, not at all. In fact, chances are that you're actually going to get today's fast action, the time limited bonus, and you're actually going to find that more valuable than the one we shared yesterday. In my opinion, this fast action bonus today is even more crazy than the one yesterday. But you be the judge of that when I show it to you later. All I can say is to celebrate the last of our program live sessions for the Make Money Online Challenge 2.0. I decided to go overboard with the bonuses today. This particular bonus I'm going to reveal later on. It's created many millions of dollars in success for the people who have paid a lot of money for it in the past. And this bonus is something we're only going to make available for the people
who have already signed up for Monetize, okay, the people who signed up yesterday, as well as the people who signed up for Monetize today before the end of our live presentation. And then Jason has something for free that he's going to give to everybody who stays until the end and make a huge announcement. And as usual, at the end of today's live training, we're going to have a more informal session answering all of your questions with my very special co-host, Jason Fladden, who's been in this industry for almost 20 years at this point. And we also have a very special guest who's going to go through his entire story from delivering pizzas to making almost $10 million in just 2 years after in digital products. But all in due time. The main focus here today is to help you understand the power of monetization. So, would you like to discover why this might be the most crucial element for you to successfully make money with digital products? Great. You see, 9 out of 10 people who have a product or service experience the same issue. They practice what I call hope marketing. They attempt random acts of marketing using the latest trends they see around and simply hoping it works, but nothing ever works or sticks. What happens when they do that? They experience feast or famine income. 1 month, they make money because somehow something worked. The problem is, just as fast as it works, it stops working. So then the next 2 months, they barely make enough to pay the bills. And because they are stuck in the cycle, their every day is spent worrying about where their next sale is going to come from. They are constantly in survival mode. However, they are unable to act or do anything differently because they don't know what to do. It's like needing to act to survive and not being able to. If you think about it, that's where most people who work with clients are at. The designer who gets a freelance project every once in a while, but never knows where his next gig is going to come from. The personal trainer who loses half their clients every January when the New Year's resolutions fade. The real estate agent who closes 3 deals in 1 month and doesn't close another deal for 3 months on end. It is like gambling. They're gambling their success away, hoping it works. This is just not a sustainable way to run a business. If you want to be successful, you need a rinse and repeat process for turning strangers into customers. And this is what I want to give you today. So the monetizing your digital product becomes a matter of following the process instead of hoping and praying. So if I show you my 3-step monetization process that removes the guesswork, so that way you are never wondering where your next sale is going to come from, can you commit to me that you're actually going to take action on it? If so, great. Let's get straight into it. There's 3 things you need to have in place for you to convert strangers into paying customers. The first is a product page, then a page script, and third is a checkout. This is what I call our 3-step monetization process. If you have ever purchased anything online before, you are probably very familiar with all of these elements. Have you ever seen any of these? A page that looks something like this for any product out there. Well, this is what we call a product page. Whenever you're going to buy something online, you see one of these. And this is the first step of our monetization system, a product page. And the same page style, which you're used to seeing on e-commerce websites like Amazon and eBay, is actually very similar to the one that we use for our digital products. And it's actually super simple to put them together. It only takes a few clicks, and I'll show you in just a minute. Then on these pages, oftentimes there's a script explaining the product that you're buying. That is our page script. This page script is what turns strangers into customers. And I will show you in a second exactly how to get the script written for you using specialized AI. Then you have your checkout where you input your address and payment information. And we have a way to fully automate this checkout process so you never have to worry about processing payments or fulfilling your orders. It's super simple. I'm going to show you. So far, easy enough, right? The beauty of this monetization process is that you can have 10 people or 10,000 people going through it at the same time because none of it takes any of your personal input. Every single step of this process requires work to only build once. Once it's built, it keeps running like clockwork 24/7. And that's why this process is so scalable and why we can have people making these numbers in a matter of a few weeks of getting started. So let's dive deep into each one of these steps now. So that way I can show you how to put these assets together. Starting with our product page. Now, before I show you how to actually create your product page, you need to understand why we need a product page in the first place. So imagine you're walking through a premium grocery store. You reach into the ice cream section, and right at eye level, the absolute best spot in the freezer, okay, the best spot right in eye line, is a plain brown cardboard container with no label. Just the words chocolate ice cream handwritten with a marker. In that situation, are you buying that ice cream? Drop in the chat. Would you buy the ice cream if you saw this? Let me know. Would you buy that chocolate ice cream in a cardboard container with a handwritten marker text on it and no label? Of course you wouldn't. Even if that plain container held the most delicious ice cream in the world, no one would take the risk on it. This is exactly what happens with digital products. It could be the greatest digital product ever created, but if it is not packaged the right way, people will just scroll right past it. Just like you would walk right past that cardboard container of ice cream. And this is even more important for digital products because they are not as tangible as an ice cream, for example. You need to make it tangible so that way people understand the need for it. And how do we make our product tangible? Through our product page and product script, okay? What if I told you there's a one-page structure that is responsible for more successful digital products than any other page type? And what if I could show you how to build that exact same page with AI doing all of the heavy lifting? Would you commit to actually implementing it? Nice, because that is what I'm going to show you right here. So I want you to pay very close attention to these pages. They have a few elements in common. Take a look and see if you can spot any patterns. If you spot any patterns, let me know in the chat below. If you take that product I mentioned in episode 1, which has grossed millions and millions of dollars, Ted's Woodworking, this is their product page. Now, this is the product page for a digital product on how to produce quality, safe drinking water anywhere. Okay, this is the product page for that speed reading and memory boosting product that I mentioned all the way back on day 1 live. This is the product page for one of my own digital products. Drop in the chat below. What do you see is the commonality between all of them? I'll wait for some of your guys' answers. Yep, they all have a title. Almost. We call it in our world a headline, okay? That is the title at the top of the page. That is one of the elements. There are 3. Content? Almost. What type of content? It's not just any text. It's what we call a page script. I'll explain exactly what that is in just a second. And what about the last one? The button, in our world, we call that a call to action. There you go. It's a button, okay? All you need really with a good page is a script, a headline, and a button. And that's it, okay? That is literally all you need. When people go to your page, those are the only elements that they should see. If they are seeing anything more than that, it's just a distraction. These 3 elements are literally all you need to succeed. You are going to see some of the highest selling digital products in history, and they all have these 3 elements and nothing more. Now, here's the key part of this step. With a product page like this, we can monetize visitors at a rate of 1 to 10. That means for every 100 visitors, 1 to 10 of them will buy your product. The page for this product, for example, this page that you can see right here. And I know it's not, guys, I know sometimes you look at this and you're like, but I don't understand. It's so simple. Exactly. That's the point. Simple sells. Let me repeat that. Simple sells. So I know this looks simple, and trust me, it's even simpler when you actually get AI to do it for you. But I know you're looking at this and you're like, but I don't understand. We're going to go through all of the mechanics and why this actually works in practice in just a second. But just so you understand, this page right here converts at 8%, meaning 8 out of every 100 people who visit it buy the product. And as you can see, this is not a particularly beautiful page or anything. Just like most digital product pages, what matters in this page is not the design, but what is written on it. Some products have the ugliest pages and still generate millions. Why? Because of what is written on them. That is all that matters. It's not, listen, I'm not saying that your product page needs to be ugly. It doesn't need to be ugly. All I'm saying is just, what you don't want to do here and what you want to avoid here at all, all costs is a complicated design, fancy animations, or anything that takes away more attention from the content of the actual page itself. What you need to worry about is the script of this page. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand this? So if I could remove the design barrier completely, if you could have professional pages in one click, would you commit to focusing on just the content? Okay? Well, under normal circumstances, you would have to learn design yourself, which could take months, or hire a designer, which could cost you thousands, or worst of all, launch with something that doesn't have the right elements and watch your product page make no sales whatsoever. But now we don't need to worry about any of that because of WAP. WAP creates our product page for us. This is what our product page looks like. Do you see what elements we have here? We have a headline, we have a script, and a button. The three elements that we need. And WAP provides you with all of this in a plug and play template, so that way you don't need to design anything yourself.
By 2027, AI skills will be worth more than a college degree. Learn them now or fall behind. It's 2025. AI can build a pro-level website within a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, you're still asking it how to write emails.
All you need to do is provide them with your headline, your page script, and the text you want on your button. In case you want a more complex over-designed product page, there's also other ways to do this with very simple tools using AI. It literally takes 2 lines of text and 1 click of a button to do it. And I have a very, very specific prompt that I like to use here to design my pages, like I did with the page of our example product we created together yesterday. And I will tell you exactly how to get this exact prompt later in the presentation. To be fair, whatever option you choose, both are equally simple and both are free. So now that we've gotten the design thing out of the way, can we agree to focus on what actually matters? This is the only thing that matters, which is the script of your page. Cool. So let's get into it. Let's start by talking about the most important element of our page. Out of all of our elements on this page, the headline, the script, the button, what do you think is the most important? Correct. It's the page script. Okay. That is our page script. It's on our page script that we communicate the value of the digital product that we are selling, so we can turn strangers into buyers. I have a very simple script that has generated me $20 million in digital product earnings. Yes, from one script. One single script is responsible for $20 million in digital product revenue. That is the power of what we are selling here. And you know, you want to know the best part? The first thing we do when launching our products is we launch with our page script in text format, just like you would read an article on a blog or a news website. This way, you don't even need to show your face to get millions of sales for your digital products. Then later on, once your product starts getting sales, you can then turn that written script into video. And that, by the way, is only if you want to. A lot of people, like Ted's We're Working, they haven't even done that. For example, here I turned it into a simple slide presentation, okay? I'm talking about black text on white background, a few emojis here and there, and that is it. But that is for when you're already getting sales. You don't even need to worry about that for now. The key here is the structure of this script. This script needs to follow a very specific sequence so that people can understand and visualize the value in your digital product. Again, our product is digital, okay? It's intangible. It's different than a shoe or a cereal box where everyone understands what it is and what its value is as soon as they see the actual product. This makes it even more crucial for us to have the right page script here. Since our product is intangible, every person will perceive it differently. And that means we have a huge opportunity here. When we frame this product the right way, which is what we do in the script, we can make people feel like this product was built exactly for them. That, and that this, I should say, is the only thing in the world that could fix the problem that they are experiencing. We can elicit the right emotions and make the viewer feel a certain way that no shoe, no cereal box, not even a brand new car would ever make them feel in a million years, okay? And that is why we can sell so much of this type of product. And it is all about this script. Basically, what this script does is it converts strangers into buyers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A single one of these scripts can provide you not only with a full-time income, but also make you ungovernable. Someone who is in control of their finances, time, and location. If you get one of these scripts right, that is all you need to sell tens of thousands of units of your digital product. And you can imagine the type of financial reward and freedom that comes with that. It's because of a script like this that today, not only can I have any car I want in my garage, but to actually do the things that truly matter for me personally, like buying my mom her dream house or building schools for children in Nepal. I've built over 10 schools internationally at this point, okay? And I've been doing that for 6 years at this point, and that is all thanks to digital products. Or affording to live in Dubai, which is my favorite city to work in, while also having another home in London, which is my childhood city, and multiple other properties around the world. Or simply being able to afford a unique experience with my friends, which for me is everything that life is truly about. To me, being ungovernable means being able to not only just be rich, but to live a rich life full of memorable moments. And all of that comes from having a few page script that hits the nail on the head. Do you see how powerful a single product script can be if done right? How a single one of these scripts can completely change your life around. And when it comes to putting together a page script, I've got this down to an absolute science. Would you like to know what that science is? Would you be excited if I broke it down to you in its step-by-step details? If I do, will you promise that you will actually use it? So let's do this. Here's what you need to understand if you want to create a digital product page script with the potential to make you ungovernable. Now, this might sound a little bit nerdy for a second, but please just stick with me, because once you understand why this works, you will be able to crush it with digital products and better appreciate when my special AI tool can do it for you. Look, everyone wanting to buy any digital product is stuck somewhere that they don't want to be. And they are dreaming of somewhere they do want to be, okay? There is a gap between those two places. A great page script does one thing really well, okay? They make that gap feel massive, and they help people see exactly where they are now and exactly where they want to go, okay? Then they position your digital product as the key to that desired situation. Here is the thing most failed digital products creators get wrong. A good page script doesn't sell your product. It sells the result that your product creates. Okay, over the last decade, I've generated close to $100 million from digital products, which means I've tested more page scripts than I care to count. Every argument, every sequence, every word, I've tested it all, and I distilled everything down into one script. This script has been battle tested across dozens of different products, refined through years of testings, and almost $100 million in sales. It is designed to hit the right emotions at exactly the right moment, to make your buyer's dream outcome feel so close they can practically taste it. This is the same script behind my $20 million digital product, the same one I use for every product I launch. Would you like to see it? Well, here's what it looks like. It follows a step-by-step process. Take someone who's never even heard of you before and turns them into a paying customer just by reading one page script. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that looks complicated as hell. And you're right. Normally, this would take weeks or maybe even months to master. But what if I told you that AI could do the heavy lifting? What if I could show you an AI process that creates better page scripts than most professionals, even if they had weeks and a $50,000 budget? Would that make your life easier? Want to see how it works? Cool. Let's do it. Here is what my $20 million page script actually looks like. It's broken down into 12 sections. Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. Under normal circumstances, this would be impossible to teach a beginner. But thanks to recent AI breakthroughs that we've been perfecting, I can show you each step, because then I'll show you how AI builds it for you. Let me show you what our AI tool spits out. Here we have section number 1. Here we have section number 2. Here we have section 3 and 4, section 5, section 6 and 7, section 8 and 9, and finally 10 to 12. The exact same structure as my $20 million script. Now, let me break down what is happening in each section, so that way you understand why this thing actually prints money. It starts with the first 2 or 3 paragraphs of your script. Your prospect immediately is pulled in and thinks, holy shit, this person is literally reading my mind. Because instead of talking about your digital product, you are talking about them, their struggles, their frustrations, their secret fears. And by the time they finish watching your opening, you're thinking, finally, someone actually gets me. Someone finally understands. And then that's when something truly magical happens. You reveal the one biggest roadblock that's been causing all of their problems, something they have never fully understood or were aware of before, which means you are the only person who can solve it for them. It's instant authority. Next, you show them there's actually a very simple way to fix everything, not some complicated solution, something they can actually do. This creates a massive gap between where they are now and where they could be. And guess what fills that gap? Correct, your digital product. Now, in the next section, here's where most people screw it up. They try to pretend they're some world-renowned expert, but you actually do the opposite. I'm just a regular person who got sick of this problem. So I went down a research rabbit hole and found solutions that actually work. This creates insane trust because they relate to you as a real person, not just some untouchable guru. Then you introduce your digital product as the bridge between their current nightmare and their dreams outcome. Okay, this is the bridge. It positions perfectly as the solution that they have been searching for. Because you have spent the last few minutes describing their exact problem and proving you understand it better than they do. Finally, you give them everything they need to say yes. clear pricing, obvious value, simple next steps. By the end of the script, they are not wondering if they should buy, they're wondering how fast they can get started. We give them the exact options. Either try to figure out alone or follow what the research has proven to work and then close the script. And there you have it. Your entire page script built out following my $20 million 12-step process. That right here is the overall structure of $1 million page script. What makes this thing so powerful is the specific sequence of arguments that elicit the right emotions at the right time, which creates a visceral desire in the prospect. In the prospect of for our product, I should say. It talks them at the depth where their decisions are truly made, okay? Beneath the surface of their conscious mind, at the level where beliefs are formed, where logic gives way to emotion. Imagine being able to use this same script for your digital product. Can you imagine the power of having a single page working for you 24/7, converting complete strangers into buyers while you sleep? When your prospect reads your page, they will see you describing them better than they can describe themselves. And there's nothing that creates more rapport and trust than that. Because if the customer feels like you understand their problem better than they understand it themselves, they simply assume that you must also have a solution to that problem. Do you then understand why? By the time they get to that point, it doesn't matter if they don't know us, if you don't have any previous experience, if this is your first time doing this, if you're doing it faceless, it does not matter, okay? It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The rapport that you've built with them at this point will be so big that it just breaks through any of those obstacles. Just so you understand, we would spend large amounts of money and large amounts of time trying to figure this out. And even after doing this, okay, we would often miss. We would run a campaign or we would put a product out there and it wouldn't sell. You know, even us, the best in the industry, because we wouldn't often get this right the first time around. We would take feedback and then we would adjust and then we would try it again and again and again. And eventually we would nail it, okay? My CMO, Luis, who I pay a very large sums of money to, okay, used to spend weeks and weeks developing these scripts. And then he still had to hire more people to train and to manage this and develop these scripts as well. Some of these scripts would take 30 or 40 hours to run under normal circumstances by the best marketers in the world. Now, we can do this with AI and then we can have it cut down the entire process to just a few minutes and a few clicks of a button. All you need to do is select the task that I want to perform inside of the specialized AI tool. In this case, write a page script. Then literally all you have to do is select the section that you want to develop and then you click generate. It's going to load for a few seconds and then it gives you the entire output fully written for you following our $20 million structure. Then we just repeat this one-click process for each one of the sections that we want to generate. At the end, you're going to have a script that looks exactly like this. To get all of this incredibly in-depth insight, all you needed to do was copy and paste a document and click generate. How much easier is that than having to manually come up with every single one of these little details? Do you see why using specialized AI in this process is so powerful and how it will make your digital product so much stronger than writing it yourself, even if you were an expert writer? That is what the power of AI is when applied to the right business model. Do you see how, although the outputs that we're generating here are insanely in depth, the process to generate them was insanely simple. It was just a matter of clicking a single button. Do you think that you are capable of clicking a button to generate this for your digital product? I bet you are. And now that we have our product page, our product script, we're only missing our checkout. Just so you understand, after your prospect reads your page, they'll click the button on the page to go to what we call the checkout, all right? They're going to click that button. Just like when you're going to buy anything online on Amazon or anywhere really, you have a page where you fill out your address and your payment information so that way your order can be processed. And that is the simplest step of them all because here we use WAP. We upload our product to WAP and they take care of the entire checkout and delivery process. They process the payment for you so that way you don't have to worry about a single thing. And whenever someone buys, they automatically give them access to your product so that way you can sell 24/7 as many times as you want without having to lift a single finger to fulfill those orders. And that is why this business is so scalable. That is why it allows you to make more money without having to invest more of your time into it. Remember what I told you about being ungovernable? How being ungovernable means being in control. Do you know what is the most difficult aspect to take control over in today's world? our time, because pretty much every single business or side hustle out there requires you to invest insane amounts of time to get it going. With non-expert digital products, when you do them the way that I'm showing you here, you can take control over your time. And as a busy person yourself, you probably understand how huge that is, and how the combination of the money that these digital products can generate for you plus the freedom of time that allows you to have is what makes you truly ungovernable. So to sum it all up, all we are doing here is uploading your digital products to WAP and making WAP process and fulfill the orders for us. Let me show you how simple it actually is to upload your products to WAP. It takes around 45 seconds to go through this entire process. First, they're going to ask you, what's your business model? Here, we're going to choose coaching and courses, which are basically synonyms for digital products. And then they're going to ask you about your industry, to which you just choose the one that relates to the topic of your product the closest. Then we select what we want that we want to host and sell on WAP. This is the feature where we turn our WAP's automated delivery system, so that way they can take care of the entire process for us, hands-free. Then you put a name for your organization or your digital product, and you add a title, description, and price for your product, and that's it. You're all set. Congratulations, okay? You only need to go through this process once. And once that's done, you will never have to lift another finger to deliver your product, no matter how many times people buy it. By the way, this is why so many people are earning money with WAP right now. People on the platform collectively are making not $200,000 a month, not $200,000 a week, not $200,000 a day, are making $200,000 per hour. And the reason why it is the best place on earth for people to make money online with digital products, it is because, as I said, it is by far the platform where people selling digital products make the most money, even as beginners just getting started out. Because it's quick, easy, and it is free to publish your digital products there, unlike many other platforms. Are you starting to see how powerful this process is? Okay, you develop your digital product the right way with specialized AIs. You then monetize it with our 3-step monetization process, and then you upload it to WAP for it to deliver your product for you. This is how you turn a digital product into a consistent stream of income by converting strangers into customers. There is a clear path to follow, regardless of whether you're not tech savvy, regardless of whether you don't have any previous experience, regardless of whether or not you think you're too old or too young for this. That is the exact path every single person on this leaderboard follows. They all had a product page. They all followed a script. They all had a checkout on WAP. And as long as you follow this exact same path for long enough and without skipping steps, you too can get there. Do you understand the power of this? This is such a huge opportunity that we're living through because these specialized AI tools have removed the guesswork from the process. They have turned what used to be rough, overgrown path into a clear path to follow. All you need to do, my friend, is walk the path. And you don't need to run it or gas yourself out trying to go through the path as fast as humanly possible or anything. The path is there. You can walk it at your own pace, whatever feels comfortable to you. Whether that's investing an hour a day after work, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Just like if, maybe that's you investing in the weekends. If that's the only time that you have, that's also cool. It's going to take a bit longer, 100%. But what's the problem here? As long as you keep walking the path and taking one step in front of the other, you're going to be making progress. And eventually you are going to get to your desired destination. And by the way,